Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid and Mike in the background from 3 Mississippi. Uh, Today is Labor Day and we are laboring. They're untangling a piece of fence line right now, but we are working on getting the fence line strung and repaired up against the creek line so that we can get Beulah out here, the horse, Frank. So that's super exciting. But um, they ran into a snafu because Ryan has lots of fencing experience. He's been working on fence lines, repairing fence lines, putting in fence lines since he was like a little kid. But Mike has not really had that same experience as far as working fence lines like that. He used to run cattle and stuff when he was a kid, but it's been a minute and he wasn't really working on the fence lines. So when they were taking parts of fence lines down, him and Frankie, they didn't take it one strands at a time and roll it up, and so they made kind of a jumbled mess of cable line. And so right now they are untangling all of that so that they are going to be able to reuse some of that in some of the lines that they're using on the fence. So we can, because we maybe did not buy as much barbed wire fencing as we maybe should have. And I almost said something when we were at Scruggs that, hey, maybe we should get another roll of that 3,000 foot thing, but I didn't because I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if we have enough, but Ryan brought some too. So we might have enough. Plus, this will help. So fill in some of the gaps of some of the areas. So that's good stuff right there. That's exciting. So they were just kind of working on getting that untangled this morning, and you know that'll be good. And then we'll actually be able to like really start, which is why I decided to go ahead and film sipping and spilling with you guys right now while they're untangling it, because I don't really need a whole lot of footage for 3 Mississippi of them untangling a fence line, because how fascinating is that? I don't know. But it's been a good morning here so far on the farm. I slept in like an extra 30 minutes this morning before I got up and did all the animals and everything. And last night, I'll show you guys my hands. It's not too bad. It looked worse last night. So a couple of my Muscovies had gotten out, and I assumed they were flying over, and they very well could have. However, we also determined last night that the electric fencing somehow, uh, somebody turned it off to do something and never turned it back on. So it was off for a couple of days, and I didn't realize that. I just assumed it was on and hadn't checked it. I just always assumed the fence is spicy because I hadn't turned it off, but somebody else had turned it off, and I didn't know that. So anyway, a couple of the ducks had been getting out, and so I told Frankie last night. I was like, "Hey, can you help me? Once they go up, we'll go in. One of us will hold the bird and one of us will cut the wing." And she was like, okay. So we were doing that last night, and the first few went fine, totally smooth. But then the jig was up, and the birds were on to us, and the ducks were not having it. And so, any of you who've ever worked with ducks before know that they're on, at least Muscovy specifically, because they're a bush duck, a ground duck. They have at the ends of their webs, they have like little talons, right? And so, uh, because they've been on just grass pasture, their talons are pretty sharp because they haven't had to really, like before when I've kept them, I had them on like a thick wood mulch kind of area. And so their talons were not bad. These guys' talons are super sharp, and they're young, so they're just super sharp. Anyway, they cut me up pretty good. So all my ducks now have like red streaks on them because it may not look that bad right now. I'll show you guys. That's one of them. It was bleeding real good yesterday, and then they got the back of my hand, which this was actually over another scar that had just healed up, and so it was deep and light scratches. So this was all bloody too and dripping all over the ducks. So my ducks this morning when I went out there to feed, they're just kind of they just have streaks of blood on them from me catching them. I did eventually go put some gloves on, uh, because I was like, okay, this is starting to get. But they took a nice little chunk out of this finger, and this one split pretty far, and they kind of they kind of got me pretty good. Those little suckers are sharp, so it wasn't the most pleasant uh, wing clipping experience that I have ever had, but it got done, and that's the important part. So that's what we like. We like when we go in to do a task, and even if it doesn't go the way we like, even if we get a little banged up and injured, it's okay. Um, so I washed it out, of course, real good afterwards because anytime you get a cut like that on the farm, there's always something that can get in there and whatever. So I just, a little soap and water never hurt anybody. So I just scrub it out real good and call it a day. But my poor birds, it looks like a crime scene in there because I kind of got it all over them. But that's all right. Oh, look at that. Frankie's coming out. She's dressed and ready for action today. Hi.
What's up?
What's up? This is just sipping and spilling.
Oh.
Oh, you got a fuzzy on your cross here. You've got to fix the fuzzy. You got like a blue fuzz ball.
Yeah, it's from a T3 shirt.
I can't get it off, but I moved it at least.
It's from a T3 shirt.
You are very pale right there.
I know,
Holy
I'm really
moly.
white.
You're see-through.
Look at my arm. Look at the difference.
Well, don't compare that.
Like look at
this
up here.
Yeah. Frankie's she gets dark like I do, but not quite as dark as I do. But she gets like a tan, but she'll wear t-shirts and stuff, and so she gets that farmer's tan. And whereas me, I'm always out in the sun, just kind of wearing a lot of tank tops and stuff, and I wear different shaped stuff all the time, so I don't get the tan lines like she does, and I just sort of stay dark all the time. But anyway, guys, that's that's Frankie, my Casper daughter. but anyway, yeah. So that was the whole ordeal with the ducks last night. But at least she was able to help me. And so today again, it dried up a little bit because I had mentioned to you guys we had some water in the chicken run. And some low spots. So we had that rain. Those low spots filled up and made some nice mud puddles for a few days. And so they're kind of dried out enough now. So I went ahead and put Nash back with the birds today because she hadn't been over there in about 3 or 4 days. So I went ahead and put her back in there with the birds today. Worked with her a little bit. Her and Kusi are both doing really well with the follow and hold. Sit, for some reason, is a real challenge for both of them. It's about 50% of the time that they'll do it when I ask them to. But they're headstrong dogs, so sometimes if something else has sparked their interest and you call them to you, they go check that out first and then they want to come to you. So you got to kind of correct them and make them understand that no, right now I'm talking about. They're very good at staying at the gate and not trying to run out when I come in or when I'm leaving. So I'm pleased with the way that it's going. But they are definitely more headstrong than any breed that I have trained before for simple things like that. But they're doing well, and they are all, when they're not sure of something, I hear them alert. If they see a vehicle pull up that they're not sure about, they alert. If I come out there at night with a flashlight and they're not, and it's outside of the normal time when I'm checking on the birds or something, they alert. A couple quick barks and come check it out, realize it's, I talk to them, they realize it's me and they settle right down. They don't continue to bark, which is good. I don't want them to just start and then freak out and not stop. I want them to do it and then realize, okay, there is no danger, we're good. And they've seemed to be very happy with the current living situations. They do really well working with them separately. They don't do as well when I'm trying to get them to do commands unless it's later in the day and they're more tired from living life. So we'll see. They're doing pretty well, and I'm happy with how they're coming along. And I know we still have a lot more work to do when it comes to that, but I am happy about how it's going, and I think there's going to be some real progress there over the next, by this time next year. It's going to be a night and day difference with their size, of course, and their age and their training level at that point, and how much they are used to protecting their flocks, their herds, whatever. So I'm excited about that. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go. This is a short one today. Again, 2 days in a row I got you short ones, but I gotta get rolling back there. But I did want to give you that exciting update. We are getting that fencing done. That's exciting, and I'm here for it, man. It's gonna be an awesome day. So anyway, y'all, until next time, stay blessed. I hope you had an amazing Labor Day yesterday. I know in the other day before I accidentally said Memorial Day. I don't know, my brain was not braining. The hamster was off the wheel. That's all right. It happens to the best of us. So anyway, guys, have a blessed week. And until then, stay tuned.